Every state says its own currency is reliable. Every government claims that the promises it gives will always be valid. But history has warned us again and again. These promises are usually not kept. We shouldn't trust blindly. We should be prepared. It was like this in Rome, in France, in the Confederacy, and today in Lebanon. People woke up overnight and saw that the money they had saved over a lifetime was almost useless. In fact, this situation is not an exception. It's a much broader truth. For this reason, the real question is not, will the system collapse? The real question is, when it collapses, how can we come out unharmed or even benefit from it? We usually assume that the numbers in the bank, the paper in our pockets, are like a solid mountain. But paper money is not solid at all. Paper money is only trust, and trust can vanish in an instant. History is very instructive here, but just as harsh. Every collapse is like a footnote left for the future. Look, these were the strategies that worked, and these mistakes bankrupted people. When we look back, we realize that the ones who lost the most were those who trusted without questioning. And the ones who gained the most were those who questioned early. Take Byzantium, for example. For centuries, the gold solidus was a currency that circulated around the world with confidence. Everyone accepted it, used it, everyone loved it. But then the state began gradually reducing the gold content. At first nobody noticed, then trust broke, and the foundation of the economy collapsed. Who won? Those who trusted not the state's lies, but real money. Those who saved gold, protected their land, and had skills. The first footnote of history is actually very clear. States cannot resist watering down money. That's why real value escapes before every crisis. But not every collapse happens because of bad government policy. Sometimes life itself brings hardship, the Black Death, for example. Nearly half of Europe's population died. But the economic consequences were more complex than imagined. The reduced labor force empowered those who survived. Land became cheaper, workers became more valuable. Those who had liquidity, some cash, silver, or the ability to work, suddenly gained great wealth. Didn't we see something similar during COVID? Supply chains broke, governments printed money, housing prices skyrocketed. The rich got richer, the poor got poorer. History says the same thing every time. Crises lift up those who have a savings and drag down those who are unprepared. The Florentine banking crisis is also an example of this. Banks considered too big to fail went bankrupt when the King of England didn't pay his debts. Depositors were left with nothing. Just like today's Lehman Brothers. Trusting big institutions sounds comforting, but history says exactly the opposite. The same happened during the American Civil War. Money was printed, inflation exploded in the South. Currency lost so much value that citizens with pockets full of money couldn't even buy bread. Again, the winners were those who had gold, land, food, and skills. The assignats of the French Revolution met a similar fate. As money increased, its value fell. People began to say, "Give me something real and tangible." The Asian crisis shows us another truth. Borrowing in someone else's currency is dangerous. When a crisis hits, it's not you who gets saved. It's the one who lent to you. What happened in Lebanon between 2019 and 2021 is the closest example to our time banks shut their doors. Everyone tried to save their own money, but it was already too late. Deposits shrank, money evaporated. Citizens who had saved for a lifetime suddenly became poor. And who won? Those who diversified their assets, moved some of their wealth abroad, bought and stored gold or property. In other words, the ones who were prepared. The same thing happened in the US in 2008 and again in 2023 when several banks collapsed overnight. So what does all this tell us? There isn't just one answer, but there is one common truth. Value lies in what is real, not in institutions. In your preparedness. Sometimes this is gold, sometimes liquidity, sometimes being debt-free, sometimes a house, a field, a garden, sometimes a skill. A collapse isn't only destruction, it is also opportunity. For the unprepared, it is a terrible time, but for the prepared, it is the most valuable opportunity of life. And don't forget, not just wealth, but skill is also value. Those who bake, repair, produce, provide service. These people come out of every crisis stronger. Money can lose its value, but people's wants and needs never disappear. In the end, we always arrive at the same place. Is what you trust something real or just a promise? History keeps telling us, if you know how to listen, you gain a lot.